hi, happy morning, my dear friends. I'm Savitri here, and let's have a look at the methods of teaching mathematics. In this part 3, we'll be discussing about heuristic method. Okay, earlier in part 1 and part 2, we discussed about the lecture method, inductive and deductive methods. So if you haven't watched them, please do have a watch. And don't forget, my dear friends, wear mask and stay safe. And this is all about me, and this is a book I've authored recently on child development pedagogy. So I'm sure it will be extremely useful for you for your CTET preparation. So you can watch the links below uh, in this video where you can purchase the book. Okay, now let's move to heuristic method. So what exactly is this method? What do you call it? Heuristic method is also known as a discovery method or the inquiry method. It is a kind of method that adopts a scientific method. First of all, you might be wondering, ma'am, you're saying heuristic method. What exactly is heuristic, right? So when I'm saying the term heuristic, it refers to Armstrong, who was the exponent of the strategy. Who was the one who came up with this? Yes, and Polin and Danker, they called it problem solving. So heuristic method is also known as a problem solving method, and it is based on which principles? Trial and error theory principles, right? And logic and imaginative thinking are prerequisites for this type of teaching strategy. That means a child, if you seriously want to go with this method, you should ensure that we and either the child has a little bit of that logical and imaginative thinking of this type, if I want to go with this strategy, because the child's level, especially when it comes to maths, not everyone is has a flair for it, right? So only students who are very much weak in this mathematics, you cannot opt heuristic method for them. So there are some advantages, there are some disadvantages on this, but now hope it's clear. Heuristic, it's a term which was given by Armstrong, and Polin and Danker called it problem solving. Okay, it is also called the trial and error theory, based on that principles, because we try, work out, if it doesn't work out, we go with one more. That is how not discovery happens, right? And yeah, coming to the meaning exactly, see what exactly are we doing here. A problem, let's say a problem is placed in before the learner, and he's asked to find the solution of the problem through various means. He can find the solution anyway. It could be library, it could be laboratory, it could be workshop. So what happens here, the teacher role, what should the teacher do here? The teacher should just give him all the facilities. She should ensure that she's initiating that learning in the pupil, in the child, by using the creative thinking and imaginative power. The child should be able to find the relevant solutions from a given set of the facilities that's given to him, like the laboratory, the library, the workshop, whatever, whatever medium he feels. Then the child has got a very good experience, and with that, there's so much of learning that takes place. Okay, so when I'm talking about this, what this is when we are talking about heuristic teaching strategy, it is focused on to develop the problem solving attitude in children, and scientific attitudes towards the problem, power of self expression, as we say, that also improves, because the student is learning all by himself. He's trying to express, he's trying to come up with a solution here. So he'll have the solving attitude, scientific no he will have a scientific approach, obviously. And uh, the teacher focuses on all these aspects while going with this heuristic method, to encourage learner to learn himself. As much self-centric learning, you said self-directed learning, we can say. This happens here. That is the beauty of heuristic method, but preferably it is for high school okay. And the teacher here is absolutely a facilitator and guide, and makes it possible for the learner to reach upon mutually there is an agreed goal, okay, that this is what is our outcome, we'll have to work on it. So the teacher, what she will do when the student has any doubt, she will, clarify it, a bit of explanation, she'll motivate, but ensure that he figures it out all by himself. Okay, so in this discovery method of teaching, the environment, that is the teacher's attitude, is very, very important here, because that contributes to rather the whole objective. If she is not rightly facilitating, then this is a disaster. Heuristic method doesn't really, because you have to be the right guide for the student, isn't it? So here in discovery method, the student is active participant who solves problem when he understands through the process of structuring his own experiences, right? So it's almost like trial and error theory, where he's trying to go with problem solving by structuring his own experience based on his experiences, or trying to come up to a solution, right? So then what more points are there here to tell you is, yeah, this environment, the kind of heuristic method of teaching in this method, what you see is the environment includes both freedom and structure, with freedom having the upper hand. Here, there's nothing like hard and fast rules, where for students, this is one of the aspects where they have freedom to an environment which is, it has not got too much of high rules, where formalities, that is what it means to say. Okay, and once again I would say a discovery method, or this heuristic method, the teacher must be quite mature, and she should be a subject matter expert of the lesson, what she's trying to teach, and an in-depth understanding of the subject. That is when this really works. And the student, once again, these are prerequisites. Okay? The student also has to be a willing participant. If not, it doesn't really work. It will backfire us. So there are number of methods where I can say approaches with the total group. Not every time this is possible, but for few concepts you can absolutely use heuristic method, discovery method of teaching. Okay, and yes, coming to its advantages, it develops confidence, self-reliance, scientific attitude. It develops the ability to develop, thinking powers of the student and all. But when I'm talking about disadvantages, not suitable for lower classes and quite a slow method. These are one of the key disadvantages that I can talk about heuristic method. So that's all for today. And coming up, we'll in the next class we shall look at analytical method, and we'll also look at the other methods. For example, let's say synthetic method and analytical method is what I'm planning to take in the next class. And don't forget, my dear friend, to check the description below and purchase this book, a one-stop solution for all your problems. And signing off then. Have a great day, safe day. Bye bye.